stop telling me what I can do, what I can say, what I can think, who my heroes are supposed to be. Just get the off of me.
Bill Maher just red-pilled Drew Barrymore on his latest Club Random episode, and the internet can't stop buzzing. The unapologetic comedian went straight for the jugular, shredding Barrymore's flimsy arguments without breaking a sweat. Predictably, the woke mob lost their collective minds. But Maher couldn't care less. His only mission was unleashing the raw, unfiltered truth served in blazing, scalding doses that left no room for fluff. So, if you haven't already, smash that subscribe button because things are about to get even hotter.
You are a very discerning man. When it comes to a lot of things, you are.
It's a charitable word for it, but I appreciate it. Yes, I think I am. I mean,
I've watched you for decades go out there and speak your truth.
Yeah.
I don't think there is anything that exists of the truth. It's your truth. And
there is also in life the truth. We may not always be able to discern it, but there is the.
So Barrymore just paired one of the woke mob's favorite mantras. Truth is relative. You've probably heard it a million times. Whenever you confront a woke activist with cold, hard facts, they instantly retreat to the safe space of "that's your truth. Let me live mine." It sounds poetic, but it's really just intellectual laziness wrapped in self-importance. Here's the reality. There are facts and there are opinions. Period. Facts exist independent of feelings. Gravity doesn't stop working because it hurts your feelings when you trip. Opinions, on the other hand, can either align with facts or be built entirely on emotions and delusions. When opinions are rooted in facts, they hold weight. But when they are based purely on vibes and wishful thinking, they collapse under scrutiny. That's a problem with Barrymore's argument. It's not empowerment, it's escapism. And Maher wasn't about to let her off the hook.
It's very hard to be the one on either side to ever proclaim you know what it is. That is a dangerous thing to do. We always need to hear, because we don't know. We're not God.
no,
Right.
no.
But it does exist, the truth. Not everything is just your truth. I mean, your truth has become sort of like code word for just whatever I feel like believing. Well, that's not really the same thing as your truth. You feel this way.
Yes.
Feeling is not enough for me.
And Bill launches yet another arrow straight through the fragile heart of the woke mob. Their entire playbook runs on feelings, not facts. Instead of owning up to it, they scramble for cherry-picked fringe facts that barely hold water, desperately trying to prop up arguments that collapse under the slightest pressure. Everyone knows feelings are fleeting. One day you're certain, the next day you're not. You can't build anything solid, lasting, or rational on a foundation that shifts with the wind. Yet somehow the woke crowd wants to take these unstable emotions and use them to justify irreversible decisions like transitioning children. Think about that. Kids who haven't even figured out their favorite color are being told their passing feelings define them forever. It's reckless. It's dangerous. And Maher cut right through the nonsense. Truth doesn't bend to feelings. And no amount of woke spin will ever change that.
But it is such a taboo subject, the truth.
It is. Oh, and it gets you hated.
Oh, as soon as I said it, I was like, the truth, that there is no truth. I'm like, that doesn't work. You can't say things like that.
Here's where it gets delicious. Drew Barrymore is visibly flustered. You can literally see the gears in her head, grinding to a halt. She thought she was paying Maher a compliment by saying he was speaking his truth. But Maher, quick as a whip, cut her off and clarified. There's no your truth or my truth. There's just a truth. And that's when Drew completely unraveled. For a few painfully awkward seconds, she stumbled, rambled, and sputtered like a deer caught in headlights. That's the effect of truth colliding with woke ideology. It doesn't just bruise the ego. It shatters the entire illusion. Woke arguments sound great in echo chambers, but the moment they meet someone armed with logic and backbone, the facade collapses. Barrymore wasn't conversing anymore. She was scrambling for air. And in that moment, Maher proved exactly why truth always bulldozes over feelings.
But it's just so refreshing. Like, you were doing this before it was so dangerous.
Still dangerous.
And it is just way too dangerous now.
Yeah.
But you're still doing it.
It's slightly less dangerous than it was 2 years ago because we did have a vibe change. And because the Democrats lost so badly in 2024.
Whoa. Barrymore almost slipped that one past radar, subtly trying to plant the idea that speaking the truth today is somehow dangerous. Classic woke move. Disguised censorship is concerned. But Maher wasn't asleep at the wheel. He caught it instantly and shut it down before it could fester. That's a difference between sharp minds and compliant ones. We all remember what cancel culture did just a few years ago. People lost jobs, reputations, and even friends simply for saying things that challenged the mob's narrative. Fear replaced free speech. But here's the twist. Thanks to Trump shaking up the establishment and the unstoppable rise of independent media, those days are fading fast. Cancel culture isn't the roaring wildfire it once was. It's reduced to a dying ember sputtering out while the rest of us get bolder in speaking the truth. Emma just reminded everyone of that shift.
The blush is off the rose on left-wing censorship and, oh my God, you can't say that. Stop telling me what I can do, what I can say, what I can think, who my heroes are supposed to be. Just get the f*** off of me.
Bill Maher took a moment to remind Barrymore and everyone watching of something the woke mob conveniently forgets. The essence of free speech enshrined in our Constitution. Free speech isn't some privilege handed out by cultural gatekeepers. It is a fundamental right of every American to speak their mind whether or not it ruffles feathers. MR cut through the noise by making it clear if someone's words cross into criminal territory. That's why we have courts, laws, and institutions designed to handle it. But outside of that, speech should be free, raw, and unfiltered. That's the beauty of America. We don't silence voices because they make us uncomfortable. And we certainly don't hand power to mobs who think hurt feelings equal crimes. Maher's point was simple, but powerful. Free speech means all speech, not just the kind the woke elite approves of. And that's exactly why it must be defended.
That is a lot of just what viscerally is going on with me when I have issues with the left. Just get the fuck off of me. First of all, I don't believe you. You're not better. You're a lot of posers. Not all of you, but just get the fuck off of me.
Well, that's what I like is you call people out from all different areas, and I don't even know how to address parties anymore.
Hey, I've got to do my hat to Bill Maher. Love him or hate him, the man has guts. He isn't afraid to call anyone out, no matter where they stand, left, right, or anywhere in between. That kind of consistency is rare in today's political circus. Contrast that with the mainstream media, where the rules are painfully predictable. Hammer the right for every misstep, but sweep the left's failures neatly under the rug. It's selective outrage at its finest, and people are sick of it. MR refuses to play that game. He'll torch Republicans when they are wrong, but he'll just as quickly hold Democrats' feet to the fire when they are peddling nonsense. That's why despite all the hate he gets from the woke mob, people still tune in. In a landscape of biased reporting and agenda-driven spin, Maher's willingness to cut through hypocrisy is refreshing and desperately needed.
If you are ballsy enough to do those things, what is it that scares you or that you care about?
You're asking me?
Yeah.
Cut! I was so riveted by the framing there. I was like, wow, who are we talking to? What was the question? What am I?
If you're ballsy enough to be brave enough to say your truths or speak to
Yes.
what you believe is the truth,
Yes.
what scares you and what do you care about?
Oh, what scares me is a little bit me that, you know, at any moment you can like say something that really in private conversation wouldn't upset anybody.
Yes.
But the snitches and bitches will be able to use it to like attack and end you, which they did once on Politically Incorrect.
And that right there's a textbook hypocrisy of the left. Behind closed doors, they say whatever they want. They laugh. They joke. They even share the same unfiltered thoughts that the rest of us have. But the moment someone has the courage to air those same thoughts publicly, suddenly it's outrage theater. They rally against the speaker, clutch their pearls, and try to cancel the person into oblivion. It's not about the content of what's said. It's about control. They want to dictate who gets to say it, when it can be said, and how it should be framed. If the wrong person says it out loud, the mob descends. That's why cancel culture has always been such a fraud. It's not about morality, it's about power. And every time someone resists that censorship, the hypocrisy of the left becomes harder to hide and impossible to defend.
I've been ended a few times, and I understand that it is real and it can happen.
Right. So, like I always say, whenever I leave the house, not even to just do the show, just leave the house, I'm having dinner at a restaurant, but one of those rooftop restaurants. Because is it really dangerous? Not very, but you could fall off the roof.
Right.
Like when you eat at a normal restaurant, there's no danger of you falling off the roof. When you eat at a rooftop restaurant, there's very little, but it is possible you could fall off.